Happy fall to you. We have a nice plush pumpkin for you. This is very similar to another design that we did, but I did some upgrade changes to it, including the stem. I left off the curlicues and I changed the yarn to Bernat Blanket. Using 6.5mm size K crochet hook with 2 balls of Bernat Blanket in red rust. You're gonna nearly use most of that, but you will not play yarn chicken. And then I just needed another color just for the stem, and the stem has been completely changed. In the following tutorial right about to play is that you're gonna be able to follow the base of this pumpkin, and then the pattern for the stem is available in the video description. There's a link, and everything is available to you, including a crochet diagram, which you'll see. This is it for now, and we'll see you on that tutorial. Let me know how you do in the comments below.
So I have a crochet diagram for you. I actually crocheted this based on the diagram, so I was making the diagram as I was going up to make sure that my math stays well. So I told you that there is 5 sides in this pumpkin, so this is considered one of the 5 sides. So you can see how it's gonna grow out. It maintains, so there will be a repeat here, and then it gets smaller back to the very top of this. So I found this quite helpful. So as we begin the first round, you're going to do 10 single crochets in the circle. So if everything is divided in sets of 5, because there's 5 sides, it's 2 stitches per side. Then in the next round, round number 1, what we have here, round number 2, is that we had a single crochet, double, and then in the next one is double and single, and so then you'll see it bulging out when you go to do that. So this is how it's going to work, and you can use this diagram if you find it's more helpful for you, and that's also available in the download. So there's 2 ways to start this pumpkin. You can either start it with a slip knot, and then you can chain 2, 1 and 2, and then do 10 single crochet second chain from the hook. When you do that though, it can create a very large hole. It is the bottom of the pumpkin. So let me show you an alternative. This is the tutorial version, so I'm allowed to cheat a little bit considering it's my own pattern too. So I want you to do an adjustable ring. So let the yarn just go in the top or front of your hands like this, the 2 fingers, and come up over and cross like this. So just in front of your hand, over and cross, and when you cross over, slip the hook under the first one and grab it, and then you can release all of that into your hands. So just separate the strand that's going to the yarn ball and chain 1 to lock that ring. So when you go into this ring now, you want to go over top of these 2 strands here to trap it. So either way you can start. We're now going to move on to round number 1. So whether you did the chain 2, which you'll put 10 single crochets second chain from the hook, or if you did the adjustable ring where I just left off, you're just going to apply 10 single crochets into that ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once you have all 10, take the strand and pull on it, and it will tighten everything into a circle. But before you continue, just pull out the hook and grab your tapestry needle, because if you do anything from this point without securing it in, it will fall out. It will expand out too. So take it with your tapestry needle and just go opposite to, so it's coming out of this spot right here, so you just want to go on the other side of that circle and just force that to pull around in. So you go in once, twice, and 3 times. This is the bottom of the pumpkin. I think I already said that, but I'm not sure. So now you can trim it out. So you'll never have to worry about that circle opening up on you or coming out. Now put this back onto your hook, and I want you to finish this circle. So just slip stitch to the first one. If you're not sure, count back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10th one is here, and that's where you want to slip stitch. It's going to be a little bit tight. Slip stitch and pull through, and that was round number 1 using a magic circle. And your round number 1 the conventional way, it may be a bigger hole, and you can always sew it shut later if that's a problem. Let's move on to round number 2. Right where I left you is right here. So every other round you're going to be turning it unless I tell you otherwise, or it states it on the pattern. So at the end of the round, turn. Now you're going to notice at the end of round number 2 there's a set of instructions that says 4 stitches and then comma 20 stitches. So everything is going to be in sets of 5. So if you times 4 stitches by 5, that equals 20 stitches. So the first number is the number in the repeat and the final number is the number of stitches in the circle. Just know that. So in round number 2 we've already turned. You're just going to chain 1 and you're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch is the one that is coming out of. You're gonna do 1 single crochet and then in the same stitch 1 double crochet. Then in the next stitch that's available to you, it's right here, is going to be 1 double crochet and then 1 single crochet. And that's considered one side of the grouping of 5. So let's repeat the set of instructions. So in the next stitch you will single crochet first, then double crochet, and then in the next stitch it's 1 double crochet first and then 1 single crochet. And I need you to do that a total of 3 more times using the available stitches that you have left. So when you start the next one it'll be 1 single, double, and then the next one is double and single, and then carry on that around. Please do this for round number 2. So I'm coming back around and I'm just completing the last part of the repeat. So it'll look like 5 sides. That's the whole point. It's a 5-sided pumpkin. So now you're just going to slip stitch to the top or to the beginning, single crochet, and get in the habit, unless I tell you otherwise, to turn your work and begin the next row. So let's go back to the diagram. So moving on to round number 3, we're going to put 1 single crochet and 1 double into the first stitch. The next stitch will have 2 double crochet. The next stitch will have 1 double, and then the very next stitch will have 1 double and 1 single, and this will complete a repeat. Then you have to do 5 times. So let's do that, round number 3. So let's begin number 3. So this here is a single crochet, and you will notice that the first set of instructions, the repeat, goes into the first single crochet. So that's how you know where to go. And so when you complete this all the way around, you just got to make sure that every side has the right amount of stitches. So in the very first single crochet you will apply, you got to chain 1 first, and then you will apply a single crochet first and then a double crochet, and then the next stitch, which is a double crochet, is going to be 2 double crochets. So we're having an expansion to get wider, and then the next one is 1 double crochet, and then the very final stitch of this repeat is going to be 1 double crochet followed by 1 single crochet into the same stitch. I'll show you one more time. So in the very first one here, this is a single that you see, so it's going to be a single in it, then a double crochet. The next one is 2 double crochet. So 1 and 2. The next one is 1 double crochet, and then the very final one of the repeat is 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet into the same one. So please complete this all the way around for round number 3. So the very last stitch coming around, you're just following the repeat, so it has to be a double and then a single to the last one, and you will attach to the first single crochet that you started with and turn your work, and we're going to begin round number 4. In round number 4 we're now going to be introducing the cabling start, and so this is what you see in these particular pumpkins that are really quite desirable. So now you're going to chain 1, and in the first single crochet I need you to apply 1 single crochet. So this is the repeat going around, so it's going to be 1 single. The next one here is going to be 2 half double crochets into the same stitch, and now the next 3 in a row, these 3 doubles, they're each going to be a front post double crochet. So just wrap the hook and going into the stitch, so around the post on the front side, pull through 2 and 2, and do the next 2 like that as well. So the braids on these pumpkins are actually 3 wide, but we have to get our way up there, so we're just currently 1 wide at this point. So a grouping of 3 equals 1. In the next stitch after these, it's going to be 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. So 1 and 2, and then the very last stitch of the repeat is 1 single crochet. So this is establishing then this is the right side of the work by these particular sections right here. Let's begin again another side. So you're going to go single crochet in the first. The next one is 2 half double crochets into the same one, and then the next grouping of the 3 is going to be a front post double crochet in each. The next one after that is going to be 2 half double crochets into the same stitch, and then the very last one in the repeat is 1 single crochet by itself. I want you to repeat that idea going all the way around for round number 4. So I'm coming all the way around. The last stitch, and it's just a matter of keeping the right sequence, is a single crochet, and you'll attach to the beginning single crochet. Turn your work and let's talk, because we're now about to start the realm of alternative rounds. So we're now about to start what is called as alternative rounds. So do you see this arrow? It's all straight single crochet round, straight single crochet, straight single crochet, and you will see that every time. So these are 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and etc., and they're all just regular single crochets around, so there's no adding to anything. So this is a builder, and behind this is what fills in the pumpkin so that you don't have any space of the polyfill, and this is a really great concept. So when I say we're gonna turn and just single crochet around, that's exactly what I mean. So every other round will be like that, and we're gonna start that now here in round number 5. So let's begin an alternative round, and you'll notice that the back side will look a little bit different than the first side. So the first side will have that more of the texture on the exterior. The texture will be on the interior here inside the pumpkin. So just chaining 1, and this is an alternative round. I just need you to apply 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. You don't need to count, just one stitch has 1 single crochet, and just continue to do that all the way around. And this is an alternative round, so every time I tell you just a single crochet round, that's exactly what I mean. Just do it. So let's meet you at the end of round number 5 in just a few moments. So I'm coming up to the end of number 5. I'm just going to slip stitch to the first single crochet, turn your work, and now let's begin round number 6. In round number 6, as we pick up, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the first 2 stitches of each of the sides. The next one will be 2 half double crochets that will be in here into the next one, and then we're going to do the treble crossover. So you're going to skip 1 stitch and you will treble into the next 2, and when you do this, it's the front post of the existing double crochets that are down here on round number 4. Once you get those 2 done, you're going to go over top of the other 2 and get the first one that you skipped, and that will create the look that we're talking about. Then the next stitch after this is 2 halves into the same one, and then the remaining of this particular side then is 1 single crochet in the remaining 2, and you'll do that all the way around. So you're establishing 1 braid here, and the next braids will then show up really soon, but not quite yet. Let's begin round number 6. So let's begin round number 6. So just chain up 1. So in the first 2 are in a row, it's 1 single crochet, so 1 and 2. The next one is going to be 2 half double crochets into the same stitch, so 1 and 2, and now you're going to do the crossover of the braids using the existing front post double crochet from below. So wrap that hook twice. It's a treble. You're gonna come to the second one and begin there. So just in the front post treble around the second front post double in the front end here, and you're just gonna go all the way back up and then wrap again and do the very next one. And now you're going to do the one that you skipped over, and that will be the ending. So this forces it to cross over itself like that. I'll show you again one more time. So in behind, that counts as the 3 that you skipped. So 1, 2, 3. See how this is sitting in front of it? Those are the 1, 2, 3. In the very next stitch after those 3, it's going to be 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. So 1 and 2, and then the remaining 2 that are left of this side is 1 single in each, and I'll repeat this again. So let's start another side. So the first 2 are 1 single crochet in each. The next one is 2 half double crochets into the same one. Now we're going to do the crossover. So wrap the hook twice, come to the second front post here, and do this crossover, and then do the very next one after it, and then do the one that you skipped. And that counts as the 3 that it's going to sit in front of. So 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one is where you'll begin. So there'll be 2 half double crochets in that one, 1 and 2, and then the next 2 are 1 single crochet each. Please just repeat this all the way around. This is round number 6. So I'm just following the pattern as I know it and just finishing off my stitches, and then just slip stitch to the beginning single crochet and turn your work, and now this is an alternative round. Round number 7 is an alternative round, so just chain up 1 and do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around. This is round number 7. So I'm coming all the way around on number 7, slip stitch to the beginning single, turn, and now let's begin round number 8. So let's begin number 8. We're going to expand one more time here. We're still going to continue to expand, but we're still going to expand. The first stitch will have 2 single crochets into the same stitch. The next 9 are all going to be a front post double crochet, so you come on straight down. So that's how we're going to do that. So just remember, when you come straight down it's a front post double crochet, and when you cross over it's a front post treble crochet. Just remember that. So you have the 9. So just think about it in sets of 3. So the first 3 is 1 braid, the next 3 is another braid, and the next 3 is another braid, and you will see that developing as we're continuing. So we're actually starting to create the 2 braids on both sides of the center braid at this moment. And so the very final stitch of this side then is 2 single crochets. Let's try round number 8. So let's begin number 8. So just chain up 1, and the first single crochet will be 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Now what we have to think about is that the first single crochet, it's going to be a tight fit, and then see these 2 half doubles that we put into the same one, those 3 are going to become part of a new braid. So you're just going to do a front post double coming starting at the first one, so that was going around the single crochet, and then the next 2 are around the 2 halves that we put into the same stitch. So that was one of 9, that was 3 of 9. The next one here, these are the crossovers, so you're going to come straight on down to the one that you can see, so that'll be a front post double, and then this one here, if you don't see it, just kind of pull it from the background, pull it out. This is what creates that look, and then this is the third one. So now this is 6 of 9 done so far. Now you have the next 3. So 2 are halves and 1 is a single, and then each one of these are just going to be 1 front post double. And then the very next stitch, and if you're not sure, you just have to skip 9 on the back end. Do you see it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that means that the 10th one here is where the 2 single crochets are into the same stitch, and that was completing one side. So let's do it again. So the first one is going to be 2 single crochets, so 1 and 2, and then the next 3 in a row. And if you're not sure, just look for these trebles right here. You can count it back to see where it's going to be. So it'll be right here. This is a single and then the 2 halves. So you start with your single first, front post double crochet going in, and then the 2 halves are going to be your front post double. So this is 3 of 9. You're doing the crossovers. So this is the next set of 3. and then finally the next set of 3. So it's the 2 halves first, so you do each of those, and then the 1 single that's left. Now even if you weren't watching me, I would still turn it around and count to make sure I get the 10th one away. So we just gotta look for it. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and the 10th one is right here, and that's 2 single crochets. Please do this all the way around for round number 8. So I'm finishing up the round number 8, just keeping the sequence, and then just joining it to the first, and let's turn our work and begin number 9. Number 9 is an alternative round, so just chain up 1 and do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. This is an alternative round, 1 single crochet in each stitch. I'll be back in a moment. So I'm coming to the end of number 9, which is an alternative, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet and turn, and now we're going to begin round number 10, which is going to be a real interesting ride. Let's begin. In round number 10, this is when we go for the Mr. Toad Wild Ride. So we're going to start off with 1 single crochet in the first one, 2 halves into the next one. This one here, this is going to be a double crochet, and it's going to go in between the 2 stitches. It's in between, it's not into a stitch at all. So what this is doing is it's creating space. Okay, so we're gonna go in between the space. We're then going to do the crossovers. So you skip the first front post, go and do the 2, and then come back and do the 1. The next double crochet is in between a space. It's not in a stitch, it's in between a space to push them apart, and then you keep on doing that, so you'll do that again and again. Then finally at the end you will put in a double crochet into the space between the last front post here and the first single, right, that you'll run into, and then back here you'll put 2 halves and then 1 single, and that's what it will be. Once you get this round established, the final of the sizing will start stabilizing, and you will notice that it turns into a box format here because we're no longer going to grow anything out. Let's begin round number 10. It's not as hard as it looks, so just stay tuned. As we begin number 10, we're gonna start pushing these braids away from each other. I know it's hard to see there on camera, but that's because everything's too close, so we're gonna be creating that space. So let's do that. We're going to chain 1, and you'll put 1 single crochet in the first, and then the next one is gonna be 2 half double crochets into the same. So 1 and 2. I then need you to come on down here between this space and this front post double crochet, and I want you to put in a double crochet. So just double crochet as you normally would, go right in and pull through and give it a little bit of slack and pull through and through. So that's in between a space, it's not a stitch. These 3 here are now going to be a crossover treble. So wrap twice, skip the first one, and do the next 2 in a row. So we do 1 and 2, and then we come to the one that you skipped and do that one. So we want to create a space between this set and this set. So to do that, I need you to come on down in between the space and just do what I showed you before. So just going right in between the 2 front post double crochets, pull through, give it a little bit of slack, and pull through 2 and 2, and this is forcing a space. So let's treble, cross over again, so skipping the first one, doing the next 2. And now let's do the one we skipped. And now let's go and create a new spacing. So between the 2 front post doubles there, just going right in between, put in a double crochet, and now we do the last group of the crossover, and you will see just by putting that double crochet in between the spaces, it makes room, and we're gonna be seeing more of that coming up in next time that we're coming down into this, because what I did and what Wendy did, as I mentioned with the difference of the air, is what will appear. So come in before you come back into this section here, come right into a space and finish it with the double crochet that comes into the space, and then you can immediately begin then here. So starting just right there. So we're gonna come in here and we're gonna put 2 half double crochets. So 1 and 2 and then 1 into the next. I will show you this one more time. So here we go. The first one out is 1 single crochet. The next one is 2 half double crochets. The next one is going to go into a space that's down here. So it's a double crochet into the space. And now these 3 are going to become part of the crossover. And don't forget, we're going to create the space. So just go in between. And now the next 3 are a crossover. So when you do these front posts like this, one time it'll be the front post crossing over, and the next time it's just straight on down with the double crochet front post. Just remember that. So you don't have to do that every round. So come into the space, we're creating a space, and now they're doing the next grouping of 3 as a crossover. Come into the space before you finish to go back to regular stitches, and then in the next stitch is just 2 half double crochets and 1 single. And I need you to repeat that going around, and you'll see that these are starting to separate from each other. You'll see it separate even more in the future. Let's continue this around. Please continue. So I'm finishing up round number 10, and we're gonna turn and go for number 11. See how the back looks? It will start to reveal its magic really soon. But let's begin number 11. Number 11, guess what it is? Alternative round, 1 single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around, please. You will notice that this will help push out those stitches that you placed in between those braids to be even further apart, and that's the magic that we're looking for. So let's continue this. 1 single crochet in every stitch around. I'll be back in a moment. So I'm coming up all the way around to the end of number 11. Let's turn our work and begin round number 12. Now round number 12, 13, 14 and 15 is the repeat to do. Once you do it once, you do it 3 more times. So it's a total of 4 times. So what I would do if you weren't watching me is that on side here I will say 12, 13, 14 and 15. So I'll do it once, and then I'll do it again, and then I'll do it one more time. Now when I check it off, I do that. Now this is not as hard as it looks, and this is where it differs from Wendy's version to my version. Now when I did this, we do 1 single crochet in the first 3. That one that we had extend down into the space, my version has that as a back post double crochet, and then the other ones are front post double crochet for 3, and then a back post for 1, and then the 3 here are a front post, and etc. Wendy accidentally misunderstood me and put all of them here to be a front post double crochet all the way across. But then when she did the next time, she also made this as a front post instead of a back post, and that's what's creating the framing look of the gray version. And I think it looks better, to be honest with you, but you can decide what's gonna work for you. Just be consistent, that's all we say. So what you wanna do is that every other section, so this is gonna be a front post double crochet straight on down, and then what you're gonna have is then the next time it's a crisscross. So the 4 rows that are in the repeat, the first row will be straight on down, and then you'll have an alternative round, and then a crisscross round, and then an alternative, and you'll continue to do that for a total of 4 times. So let's show you how to do number 12, and hopefully this is making sense. So let me show you what to do. So you're gonna chain up 1, and you'll put 1 single crochet in the first 3. So 1, 2 and 3. So if you want the version that I showed in mine, then what you want to do is that you will want to grab this one. This is in the space one. You'll want to grab it from behind and make it a back post double crochet, and that forces the pumpkin to settle backward. Wendy misunderstood me and she went in the front post, and I think it looks better, to be honest with you. So she went into the front post. You decide what you want to do. Just be consistent. Now the next 3 are each going to be 1 front post double crochet, so that's as per the pattern. The middle one, you just got to pull it out if you don't see it, and that's what's creating that exaggerated look. So whatever you decided for this one that was in the space, you were going to apply that. So what this is doing is it's establishing that as a regular stitch work into the future. So whatever you decided to do here, you'll do it the same on the next post when you have to do this again. Now the next 3 in a row again are each a front post double crochet. So it is the crisscrossing that will create that frame look. So when it crisscrosses, the frame will still be there. So we're going to do another front post double crochet, Wendy's version, and then the next 3. And then the next 3 are the next one is a front post double crochet, don't forget about that one. And now the next 3 are each 1 single crochet. It's hard to see it now, but it will show up, you watch. So let's do another side. So the first 3 are 1 single crochet, and then whatever you decided to do, the one that's coming down into the space, just make that decision. You've already made it, so just make sure that you're consistent. So I'm going to keep it as a front post double, and now we do this grouping of 3 as a front post double. Now you have that space one here again. I'm going to keep that as a front, and now this grouping of 3, keep it in the front. I think it's because the pumpkin eventually turns into that beautiful iconic pumpkin shape. That's what makes this work really well, because when it separates out, you'll see the stitch work and it will be amazing. So continue to do your front posts until you get to the very last one. And the last one is that one that comes on down, and then after that one you then have your 3 in a row. So please do this all the way around. This is round number 12. So I'm coming up to the end of number 12. So just get to the first single crochet, join it, and turn. And let's begin round number 13. 13 is an alternative round, so just chain up 1 and 1 single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. Please do this round number 13. I'm coming up to the end of number 13, and I just slip stitching to the top of the first single, turn it around, and let's begin and talk about number 14 next. Now number 14, as we continue now, we're going to do the first 3 as single crochet, so it's exactly what you already know. We're not growing any more stitches. So whatever you decided to do, the one that we created that space for, you keep it again. So in the pattern it's written as a back post double crochet, but Wendy did a front post. So I confirmed and I wanted to do a front post, so I'm going to keep that as a front post. The next 3 are going to be the crossing over the trebles. The next one is a front post and then crossing over the trebles, and you're going to notice that it will start framing itself, and you'll do that all the way to the other side, and then the last 3 of this side will be 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet in each of the 3. So then you'll begin that again, so 3s and then etc. So the easy part really now is just keeping what you already see going. Let's begin number 14. So I've already turned my work, so I'm going to just continue with number 14. So the I gotta chain 1 first and then do 1 single crochet in the first 3. So you'll be able to see the stitches now. See how it's jumping out? So this is the one that we created the space for. So I made it as a front post double crochet, so I want to keep it as a front post double crochet here. The next 3 are going to be a crossover. So starting in the second one over, and then coming to the one that we skipped, and then this is the one that's in between the 2 braids, so I'm going to keep that as a front post double crochet. See the space that it creates? That's what makes this frame up. So the next 3 again is a crossover. So starting in the second one with the front post treble, and then coming to the one you skipped, and then come on to the one that's in the space between them, and I'm gonna keep it as a front post double. Do the next 3 as a crossover, looks like we got a color change that just happened. Awesome. Another front post double, and then after that one's done, the next 3 in a row are each 1 single crochet. Okay, I'll show you one more time. So the first 3 are singles, and then you're gonna jump on down with a front post double. You're then going to do your crossovers, and then the next one, just jump on down the front post double, and then crossing over again. Once you understand this pattern, you can put your hook in the wind, turn on the television if it's not already on, and just enjoy this pattern. I was really quite proud of this pumpkin when I designed it, to be honest with you, because this is something I really haven't seen much of, and I get bored of just doing the same stitch work all the time, so this was a nice change for me. So after that set's done, do the next 3 and then repeat that on the other 3 sides that are left and continue that journey around. I'll be back in a moment. This is round number 14. So I'm coming up to the end of number 14 and I'm just keeping the stitch count. Just join it, and now turn to work, and round number 15 is next. Round number 15 is the end of a repeat, so you just chain up 1. It is an alternative round, so just apply 1 single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around, and when we get back we'll chat about where we are and what you need to do before proceeding on in today's tutorial. So I'm coming to the end of round number 15. So let's turn our work and let's chat. So now we have to do rounds number 12 through 15 3 more times. There's video chapters in this, so if you go to the video description you can find all the time markers for all the different rounds. You'll want to restart back on number 12 going through 15 again. I do demonstrate the diagram. You can actually see that in the video timeline as well, so you can decide if you know what you're doing and you just want the visuals on how to do it with my hands, then just use that. So it will say round 12 diagram or round 12 without the word diagram. Means that I'm doing the actual stitch work. So please do rounds number 12 through 15 3 more times, and then we're going to kick back up and we're going to meet up and we'll be getting round number 32 from that point. I'll see you back here in a few seconds from now, but I got some homework to do before I get there. I'll see you in a bit. So welcome back. You've done now your 3 repeats and now you're ready for round number 32. If you're not, just continue to use the video chapters and scroll me back in time so that you can continue to get this much more. If you would like to make your pumpkin bigger, you can repeat that rounds as many times as you want in order to get it more taller. That's completely up to you. But we're now ready for round number 32. In round number 32 we're looking at the chart here. We're going to do a single crochet in the first. The next 2 stitches are going to be 2 together for a half double crochet. And then what we're going to do is, remember when we put the spaces in between the braids, we're going to eliminate those spaces out and we're going to leave those behind into the past, and we're no longer going to be playing with them. So the next 9 front post double crochets will be using just the crisscross stitches itself, so just ignore the stitches that are those spaces. After we get that done, in the final of the repeat of a side, it's going to be the next stitch will be on the next 2 stitches will be half double crochet 2 together and then 1 single, and then that will take you through the repeat. So without further ado, let's move on to round number 32 and let me show you how. So let's begin round number 32. We're going to chain up 1 and we're going to single crochet in the first one, and the next 2 I need you to do a half double crochet 2 together. So just wrap the hook going into the stitch, pull up a loop, and then go into the next one, wrap, going into the stitch, pull up a loop. You should have 5 loops on your hook before you continue. Once you have your 5, pull through all of those, and that was a 2 together half double crochet. I want you to ignore the spacing front posts or the back post double crochets that you've been doing. We're now just gonna play within the crisscross stitches itself, and just come on down and do the first one of the front of the crisscross and make these into a front post double crochet. So you can tell we're still keeping in the sequence of the front post going down and the crisscross. We're just starting to eliminate stitches so that you can come around to the top of your pumpkin. Once you get that first braid done, you'll do the next 3 on the next braid, again skipping over what's here in the middle. Skipping over the spacer again and coming into the next one, and you'll do this grouping of 3. So what we're going to do in this pattern, as we're reducing stitches, we're going to reduce stitches on the rounds that are in the front side of the work. So when we do the alternative of doing the single crochet in each stitch around, that allows the pattern to stabilize itself to keep the iconic shape of a pumpkin. Now once you have that done, you're gonna come into the next 2. So skipping over, do you see this one? Follow that straight up, that's that spacer. So skipping over and do a 2 together half double crochet over the next 2 stitches, and then the next stitch is 1 single crochet. I'll demonstrate one more time. Let's start another side. So we're going to start with 1 single crochet to begin, and then the next 2 are going to be used as a half double crochet 2 together. Skip over the spacer like I talked about and go right into the braiding itself and make those each a front post double crochet. So once you get the swing of it, you can just blaze your way, skip the next one that's in the space, and just do the braid itself, and this is gonna pull it together quite nicely. Again skipping the next space, come on down. So we're going to start eliminating out the number of braids. We currently have 3 for every section, so you're going to notice is that they're gonna disappear one by one as we go. Skipping the next one here, just follow it straight up. So the next 2 after that is going to be the 2 together half double crochet, and then finally 1 single crochet. So this is how this round is gonna work, and then I will have you do that and meet me back here in just a few moments and we'll continue our journey. So I'm coming back around. I've got my last single crochet in there. I'm going to join it to the first. Now we're gonna turn our work and move on to round number 33. So in round number 33, it's an alternative round, and this allows it to stabilize. Honey, the only thing stable in this camera today is the project itself. I'm not even gonna claim that I am, but we are going to stabilize this decrease by just continuing with an alternative round of 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Please do this. This is round number 33. I'm coming to the end of number 33. I'm just slip stitching to the first single crochet. Let's turn our work and begin round number 34. In round number 34, we're going to start up and we're gonna put the first 2 stitches together for a single crochet 2 together, and then we're gonna do the crisscross over the next 3 sets of these front post double crochets. Then on the other side of that, the last 2 are gonna be coming together with single crochet 2 together. Let's please do this for round number 34. Let's begin round number 34. Chain up 1, and we're gonna put the first 2 together as a single crochet 2 together. Now just using the braids itself, because that's all that you have, these 9, it looks like there's space in between them. That's because we're starting to collapse inward, which is what we're looking for. We want to do that crisscross with the trebles that we know of already. So we're gonna just do that with those 3 sets there. So the decrease is just happening on before we get to the braids and right after the braids. So that won't always be the case, but that's what's happening. Once you get the first braid done, you'll just jump to the next one and do a crisscross. And then do your final. Now the next two after this is done is going to be coming together with a single crochet two together, and that completes off a side. So I'll show you one more time. So put the first two single crochet together and then jump immediately to the braids and do a crisscross with your trebles. This is as simple gets for braiding when it comes to crochet. Once you get the first one done, jump immediately to the next braid and do your crisscross. And then finally do the third one. Once the third one's done, you want to put your next two together for single crochet and repeat that all the way around. Please do this all the way around for round number 34. So I'm coming to the end of number 34. I'm just going to join it to the very beginning with a slip stitch, turn and work, and let's begin round number 35. Round number 35 is an alternative, so just chain up one and apply one single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. Make sure that you do have your polyfill available to you. It's going to be coming up real soon as we continue to the top of our pumpkin. Continue round number 35. Coming up to the end of number 35, just join it to the very first one and let's turn and work and do round number 36. Let's move along to round number 36. We're going to single crochet in the first one, and then we're going to start with the first one as a front post double crochet. We're then going to do a front post double crochet two together over the next two. The middle braid will stay unchanged with one double crochet that's in the front post for each of the three, and then on the other side here the first two will become two together as a front post double crochet. The last one will be a front post double crochet and then one single. So you can see that we're starting to eliminate stitches in the braiding itself for round number 36. Let's try this. So let's begin round number 36. Chain one and you're going to single crochet in the very first one. Now in the braiding itself, the first one here will be a front post double crochet. The next two, which is part of the first braid, will become two together as a front post double crochet. So wrap the hook, pick up the first post, pull through two and hold. Then pick up the last one that's part of the braid, so wrap, and then the last one pick it up, pull through two and hold, and you should have 3 loops on the hook. Pull through all 3. So you've now just made 2 of those front posts in that braid one stitch. Now this is the middle braiding of the grouping of 3, so just make that as a front post double crochet each, going straight on down. So you're only impacting the first and the last braids of each of the sides. So this side here, the first 2 that you'll have will be a front post together. So just going in, pull through 2 and hold. Do the next one, wrap and in, pull through 2 and hold. You should have 3 loops, pull through all 3. So now that 2 just became 1, and then you have 1 more post left. Just make that as a front post double crochet. Okay, so it's gonna pull around. Now you're going to just have 1 single crochet on its own before starting another side. So let's review this again. So single crochet in the first, then in the first braid the first one is gonna be a front post double crochet, and then the next 2 in that same first braid is gonna become a front post 2 together. The middle braid of that side is going to be 1 front post double crochet in each. So don't impact how many there is. The last braid of a side, the first 2 are 2 together. And then the last one here is 1 front post double crochet, and then to finish this side is just 1 single crochet on its own. So you're gonna notice that's really gonna sweep around, and please do this around for round number 36. So I'm just single crocheting in the last stitch. I'm just keeping within the count. Join it to the very first single crochet, and let's turn your work and do round number 37. In round number 37 it's an alternative round. This is the last time that we'll be doing an alternative round without any special hoops to jump through. So it's just still one single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. So please enjoy this, and we'll meet back up on round number 38 in just a moment from now. So I'm coming to the end of number 37 and just attach, and let's begin to talk about number 38 next. In round number 38 it's going to be one single crochet in the first one. The next two are going to become as a two together, so it's a two together front post using the remaining here. The middle three of the braids is unaffected, so you're just gonna still use those three on their own, and then the other two that are part of that final braid are gonna come two together, and then the last stitch is gonna be one single crochet. So we're gonna do this. You're gonna notice in this pattern this is the last time we're gonna be working with the braids, and you'll notice that it will sink off. Now the way that this pumpkin comes around over the top of the pumpkin, when it comes in at the top, all that braiding work is a waste of time as far as I felt. So that's why the braiding is gonna be stopping after this round. Let's begin round number 38. So let's begin round number 38. Chain up one and do one single crochet in the first. Now using the two that were left, you still have your grouping of three, right? So these two in the first braid are gonna come together. So just as a front post double crochet two together. So this one here, just go right around, capture both of those. It's only one stitch, but capture both of those posts so that it's over top of the hook so that it stays consistent, and then pull through all three. The middle braid is unaffected, so just come on down and just do a straight on down. You're noticing that we're not doing any crisscrossing anymore, so we're done with those two. So here's the braid on the other one. So we're gonna go into the first one, just capture so both of the posts that are on top, and then get the other one that's on its own and put it together. So then there's only one single crochet that's between any of this. That's what it looks like. So let's show you another side. So you'll single in the first one, and then you're gonna put the next two together. Here's the middle braid. You're just gonna continue to keep that braid going up. So just each as a front post double crochet, and then the final braid of that side, just go around and capture the two, and then just do that one single crochet. So please do this all the way around. This is round number 38. So now we're just gonna be in the last stitch, one single crochet, and then join it to the first. Now I don't really need to take you to the diagram next, but let's turn our work and do number 39. So number 39 we're going to do, and then I'm gonna have you stuff your pumpkin from this point so that you can get your gauging on how much stuffing you're going to need. So in round number 39, and you can follow it in the diagram if you feel more comfortable, but you're gonna chain up one and you're gonna put the first two together as a single crochet two together. So I don't think we covered that yet. So oh yes we did. We did a two together before. So put the first two together, and then you're gonna single crochet the next three. So just count it. So 1, 2, and 3. And then the next one is single crochet two together. That's one side. So let's do another side. So we start off and we put the first two together. One single crochet in the next three. 1, 2, and 3, and then single crochet the next two together. So please repeat this in each side and get your polyfill ready, and we're gonna begin stuffing after this round. So the very last two stitches become two together for single crochet, and then join it to the first single. Let's grab our polyfill, pull up a large loop, and you're gonna take out your hook, and your hand should be able to get on the inside of this, and let's stuff it. You wanna stuff it firm, but don't have it explode in stuffing, like seriously. You wanna be a little bit conscious of that, and that's what we're gonna do next. So let's stuff our pumpkin next. So I want you to apply your stuffing in and just kind of fist it and put it inside your pumpkin. You want to be relatively firm with it, but if you start seeing it explode with stitches, you know, are the stitches exploding, then it means that you're being a little bit too stuffy. So let's continue and stuff your pumpkin now, and I'll be back in just a moment. So I've now stuffed my pumpkin. I want to put my hook back onto the project itself and pull that back in. So I don't want you to turn it to going to the back side anymore. We're just gonna stay on the front side of the work, the right side. It's called RS. And so now we're going to move on to round number 40. So we're just gonna do a decrease. So we're just gonna chain up 1 and starting in the first 2 put those together, and then the next one is 1 into the next stitch, and then the next 2 are together, and that's your repeat per side. Okay, so let's try it again. So this side the first 2 are together, the next one is 1 by itself, and then the next 2 is together. Please do this all the way around for round number 40. So when you get all the way back around, you're just going to just attach it to the very first one, which is the 2 together. You're going to notice in time, especially when it comes to amigurumi, that stitches tend to relax. So if you're not generous enough with your yarn, right, you'll notice that the yarn will start to push out too much. So you just got to know that what you see now, this yarn will continue to just expand in time, and so you just want to think about that when you're going to do it. So I just want to make sure that I have enough stuffing in here, which I think is great. If I think I have too much, I can make that decision, just reach through some holes and pull out some stuffing, and if that's the case. Let's now move on to round number 41, and we're almost done. Let's begin round number 41. So do you see how the stitches are pulling apart? So during the design I knew that, so I'm just gonna chain up 1 and apply 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. So this will help stabilize that a little bit more. And again, if you're seeing like wicked stitches being pulled apart, you can always take out stuff, right? Some stuffing. Nobody likes limping a limpy pumpkin. I did one before that would just end up limping right out, and I was so upset with it because I just didn't apply enough stuffing because I was being cheap. So you want to make sure you have enough stuffing to make it work for your own desires. And once you're all the way around, just slip stitch it to the beginning one, and let's continue to the very final. So I do feel like there's way too much stuffing in here, so before I go any further, you have to make your best judgment, but I'm just gonna reach in and pull some stuffing out so that it's not as bloated, and that's something that you can decide for yourself. Let's continue with the final round, number 42. In round number 42 you're gonna chain up 1 and you'll do 1 single crochet in the first. That's the only one that's gonna be by itself. The rest of the stitches is going to be a 2 together single crochet. So that's gonna bring it in a little bit more, and then at the end of this what you're going to do is just take that yarn tail and close in the top of the hole. You are going to be applying a stem to the top of this, so what you're seeing, some of the explosion of yarn that's happening, is that it will be kind of buried underneath the stem as well. So that's something that you can keep in mind. Continue this around. And my yarn just changed color in the last like few inches here. They call that yarn chicken, and I'm not worried about it because the fact is that this is the end of the project, so nobody will see it anyway. Maybe I should use the stem for that color for the stem. I will think on it. So just join it to the beginning, single crochet, and that will conclude then the rounds, and let's close in off the hole. So to close the hole, just keep an extra long tail, just snip it and pull through, and I want you to grab a tapestry needle, hopefully you have one handy, and I want you to feed that around. Isn't that a mortal sin? That's what my mother would say. Right at the end, yarn chicken. I have people watching live at the moment, at the time of this taping, and they're like watching. I don't even know if they say let me see. It's a mortal sin. So anyway, I like working my way around, collecting the stitches, and then at the end I like to pull the stitches and watch the whole all come together at the same time. It's, I don't know, I'm sure I'm not alone. So once I'm happy and gone all the way around, I'm going to pull, and it closes that hole, and then I'm gonna go opposite to the hole and drag it through and drag it through. Now if you don't have a long enough tail, now that I say something, so I'll put a note on screen. So now what you're going to do is take your needle, and I want you to form the shape of the pumpkin. Right now it's kind of like this puff pillow. So I want you just to kind of shape it a bit, and I want you to dive the needle right down through the middle, and be very careful, don't stab yourself, and come out the bottom end of the hole. on the other side. So come out through the middle and just grab around, see just the center, and come back up through the top right where that center hole is. And what this will do is that once you pull on it, it's going to cause that middle to sink down. Do you see that? And once you have it sunken down enough and you're happy with it, secure it. And then you have the iconic pumpkin shape of the middle coming down in the interior. And we're going to apply our stem on top of that next.